Lake creatures have been reported for centuries in dozens of countries, from the monsters in Loch Ness and Shield to the Ogopogo in Lake Okanagan.
And Lake Champlain, Lager Flat, Iceland.
Sounds like you know a little something about the subject.
I did as a kid, but then I grew up and became a scientist.
Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Most Unwanted, an X-Files podcast. We're back.
He's being played off. Say your thank yous quicker. It is award season.
I might just leave that in for the spontaneity. We're back on a regular time and schedule. So, you know, it's...
Contrary to popular belief, we can do it week to week.
Yeah. Let's just hope I don't, succumb to, consumption or something like that.
Yeah, that would be
next
bad.
week. Yeah, that would be terrible. But, let's not dwell on that. You mentioned awards season. We're in the heady time of awards season.
Yeah, the Golden Globes were a few weeks back.
Where we don't get you some blockbusters, no Marvel. Forget that Iron Man bullshit.
We want artsy, fartsy,
I want
in your face.
I want to see a story about a duck that's going to make me cry. That's what I want to see.
Well, we've got 5.
So we were talking about it off air, but you're going through your list at the moment of award season films, TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit pretentious, but I like to keep on top of, sort of, my award-winning films. Because, let's be honest, they tend to be... I love a blockbuster as much as the next guy, but I do like a thought-provoking sort of a film that means something, and it tends to be these ones around awards season.
Yeah.
And so I try and keep on top of it, and I was just looking through the list. Obviously, we don't get some of them in the UK up until sometimes in March.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
1917 hasn't even come out yet, and that's one.
Which is made by a British director. That blows my mind.
But they have to... They bring it out early in the US to make sure it's available for award season, don't they? Yeah. But yeah, there's been quite a few that I've seen this year. I mean, one of the ones that really caught me off guard. It was the one on Netflix, Marriage Story. That was phenomenal. But I have to say it right out of the gates, I love a film that'll make me cry. And I know that's not the norm. I know a lot of people don't like it. I love it. I find it therapeutic, I do. Yeah. I enjoy it.
I found the ultimate formula to make me cry.
Oh, go on. Does it have to do with dogs?
No.
Okay.
I'm not, don't get me wrong, I don't like a film where a dog dies and stuff like that, but I'm not one of these people who watch, what's it called, Marley and Me and shit like that.
Yeah, Hachiko and stuff like that.
I found that there's... The Lion King, just outright, I mean, that just makes me cry.
That's universal.
Do you know what, though? Lion King has changed for me. I used to get upset with Mufasa dying. And don't get me wrong, that's still an upset.
I think I know exactly what you get upset at now. Is the cloud.
The cloud?
Yeah, that's the worst.
His dad's disappointed with him. I put a tweet about it recently. It's as an adult, I can sort of, what's the word? I can sympathise with that sort of I'm just living my life, and he's your dad comes along and what have you done? You're meant to be the king.
You have forgotten who you are, and so have forgotten me.
It's man, you can understand that kind of pressure, and he's what's it now? Whereas, when I was a kid, you just say, "Oh, his dad's dead."
That's the line that Simba shouts where he says, "You said you'd always be there for me, but you're not." Yeah. Oh my God, the heartstrings. But anyway, the formula to make you cry.
The formula to make you cry. Apart from Lion King, a love story where both sides want it to work, but it just can't work. That to me, the key example, and the film that broke me was Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Yeah, that is
because
to watch.
It's this love story that they want to work, but as you know from the beginning, it never will work, and you know that going forward. And that properly got to me. What else? There's another one. I can't remember. There's many films.
Oh yeah.
But that always tug on my heartstrings.
What did it for me in Marriage Story was without spoiling any of the plot, it's about. I don't think it's spoiling to say it's about a divorce.
Kylo Ren gets divorced.
And
from Black Widow.
From Black Widow, yeah. And so basically, all from the start of the film, the director plays with this sort of conversation technique where you'll have characters walking out of shot and going to the bathroom and shouting back. And so from the very start, it was like this really ultra-realistic version of a conversation. It's not made for screen, the conversations are, basically. Yeah. It doesn't sound right, but it's the way a normal conversation would happen around your house. So they set this up right from the start, and then there's like, in the middle, there's like this 40-minute argument, or I say 40 minutes, probably about 20-minute argument scene right in the middle, right? And because you already grounded in it, where you know that this conversation, and it's basically like a conversation you'd have in your house.
Yeah.
And so the conversation, it gets ramped up and up and up, and you know how arguments escalate and whatnot. And you're watching these characters, and you're hearing them say the worst things in the world, and you know, as a viewer, that they don't mean what they're saying, but like it never lets on that. You just sort of, you can tell, you know what I mean? Heartbreaking, honest to God. But yeah, so I do like a good crier, so that's why I enjoyed that one.
Talking of interesting sort of how stuff's filmed and stuff like that, I heard something today which made me even more interested to see 1917. Now, I didn't know this, so you might know this. The entire film is one shot.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like actually...
I mean, there'll be hidden cuts.
Yeah, there'll be hidden cut, but the actual film is...
Now I like the sound of that.
I didn't realise that. I was listening to a podcast today and he was doing an advert for it and basically said that it's a continuous sequence, and I was like, whoa, that sounds interesting. That's incredible. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, no, I really like the sound of that.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But it's like that, like, really off topic. Do you remember that, the Daredevil fight scene? Daredevil season 1 in the hallway. And it's like a 12-minute fight scene, but it's all one. And then there's hidden shots even in that. But like it's all one continuous fight scene.
Continuous shots always they always impress me. I remember watching Children of Men, and that was just like that was amazing. Especially when you see the behind the scenes of them explaining that if one person's out of place in this scene, they'd have wasted like 50 grand.
Yeah, exactly. That's why hidden cuts are there. You know what I mean?
But yeah.
Okay, so before we move on to the X-Files. Out of all the award seasons, and it doesn't necessarily have to be nominated, just like the sort of the award season films.
Yeah.
Give us 2 or 3 that you've seen out of them that you'd highly recommend. Just give us a few words about them.
So you've asked me to pick a nomination for 2 things. Did you say 2?
2 or 3, yeah. Like just a I'm going to be TV. I'm going to film.
I'm going to pick a film and a TV show.
Okay.
Now you'd expect me to say Joker when you're the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, probably.
I think Joker's good. I think it's made it to be better than it actually is.
Okay.
If I'll be honest. I did enjoy it, but when it came out in all the, like, it's Oscar nominated as well, I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, really? But anyway, so I'm not choosing that.
Okay.
So for me, out of all the lists that I've seen so far, and the ones that I've seen, I'm going to suggest, go see Rocketman.
Go see Rocketman?
Go see Rocketman.
I've heard good things about
Rocketman. You will
Rocketman.
not stop singing... or listening to Elton John songs after it. It's brilliant. I thought it was great. Like it's still a proper musical. You know what I mean? Like they don't cut away. It's just like it's actual musical numbers in it with the Elton John songs, and it's a lot more honest about his life and times. To be honest, because he doesn't come across looking like a good guy. At least up until the part where he goes into rehab, you know what I mean? Like,
and to be fair, like I think it's well known. He was a bit of an arsehole when he was younger.
He's always been known as a diva. So
yeah.
So I'm going to say Rocketman, and for my TV show, there's only one for me that's sort of the nominated ones that has been up there for me. Chernobyl.
Yeah,
it was
incredible.
It was absolutely every episode was just no matter what was happening in it, it was just tense.
Yeah,
it's just brilliant.
I think we spoke about it at length on the show.
Yeah, exactly,
it was phenomenal.
How about yourself? What?
Well, I actually, I just thought I was literally just thinking, what have I watched? And then I actually put up a post on Instagram listing my top 3.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly recite those. My top 3 films of the year was Marriage Story, Ford vs Ferrari, or Le Mans '66 in the UK, and Parasites. Really enjoyed
I really
those.
want to see Parasite.
Parasite was very, very good. Yeah, really enjoyed. Very different kind of film. But as you can imagine, it's a Korean film and very weird. And
I loved the guy accepting his award was talking about it, basically saying that if you get over that little inch at the bottom of the screen,
so true.
You'll get into so much cinema.
You don't just get a different film; you get a different type of film. There's specific styles, and actually, there's a. You might. This is literally a personal conversation. So
Sorry,
you can cut this if you want to. It might not be of interest. There's a film that's been winning every short film going in all the sort of Sundance and stuff all the festivals. It's 2 minutes. It's an Iranian film and it's beautiful. I'll show it you later. It's incredible. I forgot what it's called.
Okay, but
I'll show you it later. And just a really quick mention to TV, because I think it's been a bloody good year for TV.
I think TV now is just at a quality where it could probably be better than films at some point.
Yeah, especially with the way streaming service lets you watch it. So I couldn't put it down to 3. I literally went Mandalorian, When They See Us, Fleabag, Russian Doll, and Unbelievable. Yeah. And I forgot about Chernobyl. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
And it's mental. The year that Game of Thrones finished, it's not in anybody's top 10.
It's an indictment as well against it. You know what I mean? But
it's sad because, as we mentioned at the time,
I enjoyed it.
It was 10 years worth of great TV with a really shitty ending.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But I'll tell you what doesn't have a shitty ending. We just get in a shitty swamp, and that's when we get in the quagmire of this episode.
A+.
So this episode 22 of The X-Files, was entitled Quagmire. It was directed by Kim Manners, written by Kim Newton, a lot of Kims.
Yeah.
Two. More than one. And the original air date was May the 3rd, 1996. So
I have a pop quiz.
Oh, go on.
Right in the middle of your intro.
Right, this can throw me off.
It seemed like the appropriate time.
Yeah.
Talking about award seasons.
Yeah.
2 shows.
Yeah.
Have won. There's 2 shows tied for most Golden Globes won.
Most Golden Globes.
Can you tell me which those 2 shows are?
Game of Thrones.
Incorrect.
Oh, really?
You've got one more guess. You can get 50% right.
Lost.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Lost actually only won 1, and I think Game of Thrones only won 1.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
But 2 shows won 3.
Okay.
1 was Mad Men.
Yeah.
And 1 was The X-Files.
Oh. I mean, I should have guessed
that. Probably should have guessed, considering I waited until the X-Files section.
Yeah, that was silly of me, to be fair. But anyway,
continue with your intro, please.
Yeah. Do you know what episodes they were them for, or just?
It was the it was the best drama TV.
Oh, okay.
So the best TV drama. Yeah, it won 3 times.
We'll find out.
It would have been for a season, wouldn't it? So,
yeah, I think Golden Globes would do it for Emmys do it for single episodes.
Should I have whilst you're doing your intro?
You do that.
I'll have a quick look at what years it won it in.
Yeah,
because what at the moment season 3 was 1996.
Yeah,
so we can sort of figure out what seasons won it. So yeah, you carry on. I'll have a quick look.
Okay, so we start in Strikers Cove, in Blue Ridge Mountain. It says GA. I'm terrible with
GA. Is that the state?
State, yeah.
GA?
Yeah, GA.
I can't think of any.
No. Gainesville's not. No, that's a city.
Glasgow? No.
That's it, it's Glasgow.
It's Glasgow. I think it's Glasgow.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
It's the biggest state, I believe.
Yeah. So we see a frog, or a toad, when we start, and we see a man talking about these toads. Their populations are declining. This man's called Faraday. He's talking to another guy called Bailey, but I mean, don't get used to that name. He doesn't seem that bothered by these declining populations of toads. And Faraday goes on to say that we're the cause for this. And he actually says,
"You can't turn your back on nature, or nature will turn her back on you."
Which we'll see is quite literal in a few seconds.
Is. very passionate speech.
Yes, yeah.
It's performances like this is the reason why X-Files won a Golden Globe this year.
Oh, okay.
1966.
1966?
1996.
They won the World Cup as well this year as well, yeah.
1996.
1996, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, this has been a really good series.
Yeah.
Really good season.
Like, jokes aside, it won the Golden Globe for season 1. Again, there's probably going to be crossover between seasons, but season 1, season 3, and season 4.
Okay, so we're in the good years.
We're in the good years.
All downhill from here. So yeah, Bailey leaves, and he realises that his pager has fallen off. Now, initially I thought his handle had fallen off the car or something, because I didn't see what... I was watching it as taking notes, and I was like, what happened there?
Oh no, I know that panicked searching anywhere. I've done that many a time. Maybe not with my pager, but...
he goes looking for the pager, and we hear a creepy noise, and we see something watching him from the water. As he's reaching down for this pager, he gets jumped from behind and dragged into the water. And then we see his hand reaching out, and we hear a frog noise just before the intro cuts in. Now, my immediate thoughts after this, after we'd just seen Tessa Dos Bichos, was... Please, 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 make this not be an angry frog episode. Luckily, we're okay on that.
I think we're alright.
We're okay, okay. Oh, what did you think of the intro?
Yeah, it was good. I mean...
There's not much, really, to take from it, I guess.
No, I was cautious.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Because I knew it was an alligator. I'm jumping way ahead.
Yeah, do you know what?
Do you know the reason why? It's Lake Placid.
Yeah.
I think it's Lake Placid. Is that the one with it? It's like the really B-movie horror films.
Jaws, but with a crocodile.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like that sort of... basically, if you watch... I mean, it's literally... They're terrible films.
Yeah.
But if you watch them, that shot of like a man being dragged down like a sort of muddy bank, that's in every Lake Placid. Yeah. So immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, it's X-Files. It's not going to be what they say it is. It's going to be some sort of twist on it. It's going to be an alligator. Right. And so in my head, all the way through, I was like, is this just about a big alligator?
Yeah.
But I did like, there's not enough twists to keep me going.
Do you know what? This is what I couldn't get my head around in this episode. It's my only complaint about the episode, and I did quite like it.
Yeah.
Jumping.
Like I was summing it up, we've only just started.
But anyway... But yeah,
I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, leave it there. Anyway, next week. I didn't understand this because, like, all through the episode, Scully's making that it could be people just falling in the lakes and disappearing. Mulder's talking about a massive Loch Ness monster, basically. Yeah. Why has no one thought could be a big crocodile, a big alligator?
Yeah,
no one says that. It's like, I live in England and I know that alligators are in America.
Not only that, if I was on the Thames and two people came out with body parts missing from them and torn off, I'd be like, should we just check there's not an alligator in the Thames?
Or a shark or something.
Yeah,
that's
like a whale.
Yeah, and a normal animal that eats humans every now and again.
I feel like we shouldn't limit our search to the Loch Ness Monster or a boat. Yeah. I feel like there's in-betweens. There's in-betweens that we can look at.
It did strike me as weird. Like, when he eventually revealed what it was, and I was like, why did no one think of that?
I like how... I mean, again, God, we are jumping all over the place. But there's one where I think his head comes off.
Yeah.
And, like, Scully says, well, it looks like propeller blades. And everyone's like, yep, look at all the boats. It's like, what?
Yeah, fair enough.
There's no... like, a driver wouldn't have felt a propeller blade slicing through a guy's neck.
Yeah. There's a lot of dishonest people on this lake.
The policeman's like, look at all the boats, as he pans out to 3 boats.
It's too many. This is congested.
It's definitely one of these boats.
Did we find out what the... No, let's just leave it. It was Galaska. Sorry, I was getting it... I nearly asked a silly question there.
It was Galaska. I mean, I can have a look what the internet...
The only thing I can think of is Georgia, but surely it'd be just GE? I don't know.
GA states, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Georgia, you're spot on.
Okay. That's the only G state I know.
Situated between South Carolina and Alabama.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're quite a distance away, to be fair. That's a drive from Washington.
Yeah.
That's a long haul.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's down south.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas. I could go on now.
We're just listing states now. Is that that? Don't worry, there's only 52.
Isn't there 50?
Is it 50 or 52?
I think it's 50, isn't it?
Is it 50 states?
Don't worry. Let me have a quick look.
God, here we go again.
What is going on this episode?
New year, we prove ourselves not knowing anything about geography again.
Okay, American states. Now, I'm pretty sure it's 50, because there's a film called The 51st State, and that's about the UK. Yeah, it's 50.
Is it 50?
What are the other two that you're thinking of?
I don't know. Just made them up.
You just made them up?
Yeah. What about, like, Puerto Rico? That's not a state, is it?
I think Puerto Rico's a state.
Is it? I thought it was like a part of America, but not an actual state.
Well, let's have a look. No, you're correct. Puerto Rico is not a state.
Anyway.
I'll tell you what is a state.
Go on. This fucking podcast.
I'll tell you what is a state. Louisiana.
This is like Marshall's fish name lists. Anyway.
Hey. Arizona.
This is terrible.
This isn't funny to anyone but us.
This is awful. Right, anyway. Scene 2.
This is a good one. Connecticut.
Scene 2. Back to Georgia. Another state. Right, so we see Mulder and Scully drive in. We see them go past a sign that says, "What's older than the hillside?" And at this point, we don't know what's going on. Mulder and Scully are driving. Scully has brought her dog, Queen Quag.
Yeah.
Quim Quag? I think we had this last time. Anyway, he's the guy from Moby Dick, the harpoonist, which we'll find a bit more about later.
You certainly do. Have you ever read Moby Dick?
No, it's way too thick for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to read it, but I haven't got around to it. So.
Yeah. I have to really, really be in the mood to read a book, and if I see it's like over like 300 pages, I'm sometimes like, I don't know if I can commit. I enjoy
a good book either.
I like getting into a book. I have a very low attention
span.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
But that's just me. There's a problem with my generation, probably.
Problem about my generation.
Anyway. So yeah, she brought the dog, and the dog needs to go... Sorry.
Is the dog...
It's Pomeranian, isn't it?
That's what I thought. I just didn't want to make it fool himself. Yeah, I thought so.
Pomme de terre.
But what?
I don't know. Pomme de terre. And then like a potato. Or something like that. Pomme de terre. Could have said something incredibly offensive there.
I'm pretty sure it's a state.
No! But yeah, she's brought the dog. The dog needs to go for a poo, basically. Let's not dance around it. And they have a little bit of a spat in the car about her bringing the dog and why she did bring the dog.
Nature's calling. I think we should pull over soon.
Did you really have to bring that thing?
You wake me up on a Saturday morning, tell me to be ready in 5 minutes. My mother is out of town, all of the dog sitters are booked, and you know how I feel about kennels. So, unless you want to lose your security deposit on the car, I suggest you pull over.
They mentioned there's been multiple disappearances in the town, and Scully is wise to the fact straight away that this isn't a normal missing persons case. Mulder's not going to be dragged into just any ordinary missing persons case. Right as she's saying this, she drives past the sign and talks about Big Blue.
Big Blue.
Which I didn't know about. I've never heard of Big Blue.
Is Big Blue an actual thing?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty
Sweet.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Be careful, because it will say it's a chess computer as well.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, it's, because basically, I mean, we've said it twice already in the show, and I've realised we've said it. Loch Ness Monsters are pretty much worldwide known things.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, cool. But, it's the Loch Ness Monster.
Basically, yeah.
Big Blue might be more popular in America, maybe that's it. But, like, for us, I looked and I was like, oh, it's the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
It's the same
type of
myth, isn't it? Yeah.
I think there's myths like this all around the world about, like, dinosaurs that are just...
Well, it's the same as, like, Yeti and Sasquatch and
Did you know there's supposed to be a dinosaur in the Congo?
Is there?
Yeah. Because apparently the forest's so big, they'll never find it.
Wow. Until it all burns down.
Until it all burns down, yeah. Like the rest of the forests around the world.
Oh God, it's so sad, isn't it?
So sad, yeah.
Oh God, horrendous. This is an escape from the real world.
I was going to say, we do have a lot of Australian listeners, to which...
Fuck, it's horrendous.
It is horrendous.
Jesus Christ, it's awful. And I hope everyone's safe.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Where do you go from that?
It's been a miserable start to the year, isn't it?
Oh, God.
It's 8 days into January and already it's gone bad. We're probably aging the podcast here of when we recorded it. But anyway. So we see this sign, Big Blue. Next, we're at the ecology science labs. And Mulder and Scully are talking to Faraday about this Bailey guy disappearing. Faraday doesn't really disguise what he thought of Bailey. He thought he was a knob, basically. Yeah. He says that he's not responsible for anything that happened to him, if that's what they're implying.
He's very straight to the point.
Yeah.
And then not only that, he does mention that why should I care about one man's death when an entire species is becoming extinct? And I mean, when you put it to like that, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Got a point. But yeah, Mulder starts pressing and asking if he knows if a creature could do this, and he starts saying no, only humans could do this. And Mulder starts asking about Big Blue, and as you mentioned, he goes into this big speech about people believing in the paranormal.
See, this is what always happens. This is how it starts.
What?
The deflection, sleight of hand. See, whenever an issue requires any real thought, any serious mental effort, people turn to UFOs and sea serpents and Sasquatch. Afternoon talk shows and tabloid TV, they've reduced our attention span to the length of a soundbite so that soon our ability to think will be as extinct as the Ranus phennocephala frog.
He tells them to stop wasting their time with Big Blue and then leaves. Then we see Mulder and Scully heading across this muddy lot, heading to a souvenir shop with Queen Quag in tow. And Mulder's basically talking about these different lake monsters around the country, and in mentions Loch Ness at this point as well. And Scully says that she knew about all these stories, but she grew up and left them behind and became a scientist. So the ultimate burn. Mulder thinks that maybe Big Blue is a dinosaur that's sort of survived.
What, prehistoric creature?
Yeah, something like that. They go into this gift shop and they meet the man behind the bar. I don't know, the counter there, Ted, and he says that the townsfolk think that Big Blue is responsible for these disappearances. Just
to interrupt you for a few seconds, I've not again just thought this off the top of my head when you meant talking about it. He's kind of right, isn't he? It was a prehistoric creature.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? Because alligators are supposedly from that time unchanged. So
here's a fact for you. This is apparently a mind-blowing fact that I read on Reddit. Sharks have been on the earth longer than trees.
What?
As a species, sharks have been around longer than trees have existed on earth.
Bloody hell.
It's mental, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Nothing to do
Can we verify it?
It was verified, yeah, it was verified. You have to take my word for that. But I did read the verification.
So you're saying I have to take your word on faith?
Yeah, take a leap of faith. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
That is very interesting.
I don't know about crocodiles. They might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one's unverified. Let's just hope.
Yeah. No. Okay.
He goes on to tell this story about when he saw Big Blue as a kid. Scully's not buying any of this. And another guy walks in, Ansel, who's apparently the expert on Big Blue in the region. And he's a bit zany, to say the least. And he says that he hasn't seen him, but he will one day.
Yeah.
So he's staying optimistic. Elsewhere, we see a man who's out fishing on the pier, and he gets a big bite. To which I thought, he's going to be pulled in.
I think everyone thought that, to be fair.
But lucky him, he fishes out a body out of the river.
Well, you halfway.
Yeah. He runs into the shop and says, "We've got
dies."
Actually, to be fair, he's kind of joking as well. He says we've got a floater.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I mean, he's not taking it seriously. They go to investigate it, and as you mentioned, it's just a pair of legs.
Yeah.
They do notice that the belt buckle reminds them that this is the scout leader.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
They flip him over.
No, they didn't. They took the wallet out.
Oh, was it his wallet?
I
thought they just. I didn't see that.
They just saw his belt buckle. I remember seeing that belt buckle. That was a nice.
It was on the picture. It was on the picture. I don't know. Scully notes that his fly's there, and she comes up with this theory, quite plausible theory, that if he's been drinking, went to take a leak and then fell into the water.
Yeah. Apparently most bodies that wash up or have the fly down.
Yeah. But Mulder asks where the rest of him is, to which we don't know. Well, no. we do. Crocodile ate him.
It tends to be, if you do fall into the water drunk and you drown, you tend to remain intact. Doesn't your upper body tends to remain attached?
How do you know?
Logic. I'm going to say logic.
Can you verify that?
No, you have to take my word for it.
A lot of faith going around today. A lot of faith.
She does mention, though, to be fair, she does mention that if it's been there a long time,
stuff could have eaten it.
Fish could have eaten it. Yeah. But, like, Mulder is right in saying, like, why would they have left half?
Even piranhas would have just eaten the
bottom, or at least not taken just the top half.
Anyway, the next night we see Ted, the guy from the shop. He's basically making prints in the mud.
He's cashing in. He's cashing in on all this.
He's got these like boots on with like monster, what are they called, like footprints, I guess. Yeah. And he's something else is watching this guy, and he gets stuck in the mud as he's doing this, and then in what looked exactly like. I mean, I don't know which one came first, but it was an exact reenactment of the intro sequence from the first Resident Evil. Literally, the camera comes racing up to him as he turns and goes, "Ah!" I was like, wow, this is so similar. I get the feeling it was the other way around, like they stole it from this.
Yeah.
There's so much that you see, like the parallels. I've mentioned it before, but yeah, that kind of like 90s TV aesthetic. The next day, we see Mulder and Ansel are looking at this guy's hat, which is all that's left of him, apparently. Mulder mentions that he wants to close off the river to protect the public. And the sheriff's having none of it. He's not closing the river down. He doesn't have the resources for this. And at this moment, Queen Quag, the third detective on this case, goes running off and manages to find these fake feet from this guy.
She got loose, the dog.
Yeah.
For the first of 2 times. Yeah. This tiny little dog.
Yeah. I mean, the dog and Scully are both punished very harshly for this indiscretion.
All I'm saying is, Scully is not blameless here.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a good lead.
And it's irresponsible that in one day she's let this dog run off in a place that they don't know twice.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those leads as well, the ones that you can get a good old handle on.
Yeah.
They're impossible to...
And it's a tiny little dog.
Unless you're just like, I don't know, like, I'm doing an act then of just like casually holding the...
Like, you're just like holding it with one finger.
Twizzling it. Yeah, I mean, Scully has got a lot to answer for in this. Yeah. So, I don't feel as sorry for her. But they find these boots with the fake feet on, and Scully now is getting a lot more evidence that this is all just a big hoax. We then see some teenage stoners who are sat on the lakeside. Mm-hmm. Did you recognise them?
I recognise the guy. Yeah. I don't know what he's in.
Not even just from what they've been in before. Do you recognise them?
No, have they been in X-Files before?
Yeah.
Have they really?
Yeah. I didn't know this until I read the notes later on.
See, I recognise the guy because he usually plays, like, I've seen him in loads of TV shows where he plays the best friend of the main character.
Yeah.
Do you know
he was in Tucker and Dale versus Evil as well?
He was, and he was in there was another one. It was something about like a guy that's like his dad's the devil or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's like the best friend of that or something. I can't really remember. I've seen it in passing.
I think I remember that one. I can't remember. It's like it's not Lucifer. It was something like that though.
Yeah,
I remember what it's called.
It's like a comedy. Yeah. But I've seen him in tons of stuff, but I didn't know he was in X-Files.
They were in War of the Coprophages. They were the teenagers that were in the... do you know the guy who died because he sniffed the shit and started, like, hallucinating?
Yeah.
They were the other two people.
No way, really? Oh, okay, fair enough. I need to stop doing these experimental drugs.
I did put that. I was like, are they trying to say something about drugs in this series?
How great would it be if they turned up like 7 times? Yeah. Throughout X-Files.
Who knows? They could turn up.
do.
One thing that did make me laugh, though, I saw the woman, and she looks so much like Annie. If Annie had grown up and just decided, I'm just going to do a lot of drugs now. So, yeah. But anyway, they haven't learned, and the dude is licking a toad. He's literally called dude in the script.
And he's licking a toad.
He's licking a toad to try and get high, naturally. A diver, an undisclosed diver from somewhere, just pops up, and
he's fetching toads.
I guess so. Yeah, he's fetching these toads, and he scares the guy. But shortly after, he gets dragged away. We see a lot of blood, and then we see his his severed head float to the surface.
Yeah.
So. Don't do drugs, or otherwise you will die violently. Yeah, basically.
And that's been proven time and time again.
That is true. I mean, it's like a horror film, isn't it? Like you always see that the people in like Jason films or Jason films, Friday the 13th. You do drugs, you have sex.
Hang on. Apart from what was that film?
Is it Cabin in the Woods?
Cabin in the Woods, yeah.
Where it doing the drugs.
It actually stopped the thing in his head. Yeah. It gave him a clear mind.
Yeah, but I mean that was kind of.
It was a spoof. That's a great film.
I love that film.
So good.
I love that film. If you're like a fan of like the horror genre, it's perfect because it just skews every.
It's like a homage to horror. You know what I mean, rather than actual horror itself.
Oh God, who was in that as well? The guy who's in Get Out and Handmaid's Tale. Do you know the... Oh, you haven't seen the second series of Handmaid's Tale, have you?
No.
Have you seen Get Out?
Yes.
Do you know the dad of the... Where he goes round to their house, the dad?
Yeah.
He's in...
it's...
I can't remember his name.
No, I can't. He was in Studio 50 on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
As well. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah,
Very good actor.
I forget he's in that. Yeah, he's great in that. He always plays this, like... guy who's just doing his job, but his job has got really ulterior motives. He's the same in bloody Watson as all Handmaid's Tale. He's the same. He's just like, just doing my job, but my job is really evil. Anyway, it's, no more spoilers.
No more spoilers for that.
No spoilers.
I thought Handmaid's Tale was a very uplifting show.
Did you?
Well, I haven't watched it yet, but I will. I've seen the first season.
Okay.
It's not uplifting at all. No. X-Files.
Anyway. We see Mulder investigating this severed head, and he notes that if it is a hoax, it's an elaborate one. The sheriff says that he's got nothing out of Freebird and Moon Unit over there. It wasn't really an interesting quote, but I just loved his names for the two of them. Mulder and Scully are arguing about what this could actually be. Scully rightly says that there's no hard evidence to prove what Mulder is trying to say that it is. Elsewhere, we see Ansel, who's setting up his camera, singing True Colours. I don't know if that's relevant. And we see this float with meat that he's set up in the lake. It sort of gets tugged while he's not watching.
Yeah. I thought he was going to miss it. I was like,
you idiot. And then we see something come out of the water, and it pounces Ansel. And instead of trying to defend himself, he takes pictures of the attacker. Not very good pictures.
It's his life's dream. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I suppose, yeah.
Maybe if you're not going, if you think you've not got a chance, you might as well go down doing what you love, doing what you've worked for.
But if it was an alligator,
and to be fair, in his last moments, he realised I've wasted my life. Man, that's sad, isn't it?
Sad, yeah. And he didn't even get a good picture either.
You know? And it actually exists. So he this thing that he believed existed, he went out. He believes his entire life up until that last moment where he lost faith, and then it does exist.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's how cruel life is.
That's a tragedy.
That's his tragedy.
A tragedy.
Later, we see Mulder and Scully investigating this disappearance, death. Mulder says that there's been too many deaths over too short of a period because the sheriff tries to say that deaths happen on lakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, rightly, Mulder's saying not this many.
A week, yeah.
And he says that they need to close the lake. The sheriff is adamant, they're not closing it, we definitely not do it. He then gets pulled into the water by some unknown thing.
Yeah.
We don't see what it is. And when he gets back to the shore, he mentioned that something big brushed up against him. And which he immediately decides we should close the lake.
What a hero.
Yeah. I always like this when some characters, like, they're all of their beliefs are completely shattered.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're looking out for their own health and safety, I guess.
Yeah.
So, safe and smart, that's where you go act in this situation.
The thing is, I'll be with him on that. Like, you can't seriously expect him to close the lake with that little resources based on, well, the Loch Ness Monster's in there. You know what I mean? Like, if he's felt it, then he's got something to sort of...
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, he's got hard evidence.
Hard evidence, yeah, exactly. Could be a big fish, to be fair. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
at that point.
There are, like, some massive fish as well.
Yeah, there are big fish, yeah.
Maybe not in lakes, though. It's more like deep sea.
You can get big fish in lakes.
Can you? You can get big fish in lakes?
Big fish in lakes.
Okay.
Trust me.
Big fish in small ponds?
No, it's a big pond.
Oh, it's a big
pond.
Okay. Big fish in a big pond?
Yeah.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Later at the motel, we see Mulder and Scully looking at these pictures that Ansel have got with nothing on them.
No.
Mulder's even looking at one that's like a white triangle, and he says, "Is this a tooth?"
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't look anything like a tooth.
I mean, it could be, but there's no way to. Like, it's the worst picture I've ever seen. Scully says she's going to go take Queen Quag for a walk. The dog, as they're outside, as he's going to do his business, the dog notices something in the woods and runs off his lead, as you mentioned, again. How? I don't understand. Anyway. She goes chasing after him, but then we hear yelps as she grabs the lead, and it comes back.
Rest in peace.
With no dog.
Rest in peace.
Now, I thought at this point, I was like, oh, not the dog. And then I thought, he'll be back.
No.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's definitely dead.
Crocodile lunch.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought he was going to come back? Do you know the bit where Mulder's like chasing around in the what's it, and then...
Yeah, you just come out.
Yeah, I thought the dog was going to run out, and he was like, oh, you scam. I was like, oh, he's alive. No, he's been eaten by a crocodile or alligator. Was it an alligator? I think it was, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference.
There's no crocodiles or alligators listening, so...
If we get an angry email from a crocodile next week, you're reading it out.
Please. Back at the motel, Scully is sort of letting all this emotion hit her. She looks devastated, and if there's ever a shoulder to cry on, it's going to be Mulder. And Mulder's there, solid as a rock. He goes up to her. He says sorry about Queen Quag, and then immediately carries on talking about photos.
Because he could not care less.
Give a shit.
And these photos as well, which are nothing.
Yeah. It's wasting everyone's time, Mulder.
What do you think is a better indicator of a myth being true? That picture of possible lake monster's tooth, or the drawn picture of Bigfoot from the first season?
No, I mean...
What's more reliable?
What's more reliable?
What's bigger proof?
I mean, the drawn picture, it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be, doesn't it?
Because with such a realistic depiction of you know, somebody who's seen something firsthand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and took the time to notice all the details.
Detailed drawings.
Yeah, you're spot
on. I watched that video again.
So good. Good.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's something else.
Yeah.
That's our highlight reel.
Right there. God. So funny.
Right. But anyway, yeah, so Mulder carries on yapping on about these photos. He's noticed, though, that the sightings have started moving closer to the shore, and they actually originated from somewhere, which was the place at the beginning, what's it called, Striker's Cave?
Yeah.
Or Cove, sorry. And Scully isn't listening. She says she didn't catch any of that. To which Mulder just carries on and says, "Do you know how to ride a boat?"
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
She literally looks like grief-struck. Grief-struck?
Grief-struck.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Yeah. Like she's genuinely like, I mean, of course, like, you know, your pet's part of your family, isn't it? And like, doesn't care, just carries on.
Not interested,
I don't think he even comprehends that like she would be upset about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we've said this before, that Mulder's just, he's very tactless in social situations. Anyway, they do get onto a boat, and Mulder is still as transfixed in finding this creature, as he's looking into these old maps and trying to point out where they need to be heading. Scully jokes about having about old maps having stuff on them saying "Here be monsters," and Mulder jokes saying that he has a New York City map that was like that as well. We see a big object appear on the sonar, just heading straight towards them.
Yeah.
It hits the boat, and it springs a massive leak. Scully starts calling for Mayday, starts asking for help from anybody, and the boat just starts sinking. At this point, Mulder and Scully get off, and they're on this kind of like rock or like island
in the middle of the lake.
In the middle of the lake, they're stranded.
Yeah,
they can't get anywhere.
There's no way they can get back to shore.
Yeah, I've got a question about this, but we'll get to it. They mention that they're completely lost. They don't know where. Mulder even suggests at one point they should swim to shore, and Scully says we don't even know what direction it is.
Yeah, it's too dark you can see,
Yeah, he has an interesting quote about that.
Yeah, you know, living in the city, you forget that night is actually so dark.
Living in the city, you forget a lot of things. You know, there you're always thinking about being mugged or hit by a car. It's not until you get back to nature until you realize that everything is out to get you. As my father always taught me to respect nature, because it has no respect for you.
It's true. It is true. Like with the I love. This is a bit of a sidetrack, but I absolutely love going to the country because I love seeing the stars.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah.
And you just don't see the stars. Like, of course, you can see a few, but you don't see anywhere near the amount of stars that are in the sky. Here, because there's too much light pollution. You never really, like in the city, you're never really in the dark.
No, not really. Like even, on our street, which is fairly like out of the beaten track, I suppose, there's like a street light right outside our house,
exactly.
Which plays in,
it's just one of those things.
I always remember that once I stayed at a farm, basically. Like,
no, it's pitch black. That is black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Literally, lights out. I was staying in, we were sharing like somebody's room, and they switched their lights off, and I was like,
you can't see your hand in front of your face.
It is darkness, and it's like, this is terrifying. So anywhere like out in the sticks like that is, it's always interesting.
Yeah.
As they're on this island, they hear a noise, and it spooks both of them. Mulder jokes that maybe it was Big Blue, and Scully's not really happy about any of this. She asks what the aim of all this is, and she says that if he carries on like chasing all these like crazy stories, he's going to end up like Ansel, as just like, somebody who nobody takes seriously. He's like a kook, basically. Mulder asks,
it's a reference to Moby Dick, isn't it?
This is later on, that one is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mulder asks if he's questioning his reasons for doing this, and she just said she doesn't understand them. They hear a noise again, and they both point their guns, but it's just a duck.
Yeah. Mulder made me laugh. Yeah. What does he say? Something like that? I'm
tempted to still shoot it or something like that.
Just this little duck head. Yeah, that made me laugh.
Now, later on, we see them like lying on this rock, and this like the scenes on the rock, I think, make this episode.
And you can see like times pass, and they're just sort of waiting till morning together.
So they're sat on the rock, and Mulder decides to ask a few light questions.
Hey, Scully, do you think you could ever cannibalize someone? I mean, if you really had to.
Well, as much as the very idea is abhorrent to me, I suppose under certain conditions, a living entity is practically conditioned to perform whatever extreme measures are necessary to ensure its survival. I suppose I'm no different.
You've lost some weight recently, haven't you?
Yeah, actually, I have. Thanks.
It's like us.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation on air multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah, and off air.
Yeah.
Which is worrying, really, to be fair.
Every Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Chaps, can you put that knife away? But yeah, they start going into this big discussion about it, and Mulder starts actually linking it back to Big Blue at this point, and he sort of makes the point that the creature might be becoming desperate and it's running out of food, so maybe it is moving close to shore to actually find
coming out of hiding.
Basically, Scully starts to reminisce about Quag, the good times.
Yeah.
It's not had him that long, to be fair, but then again, you don't know how long the series is
the
first time.
Yeah, it's been about a year. I mean, to be fair, like, it's not a nice thing to happen, is it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nobody wants their dog to be eaten.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, imagine if Big Blue ate Shelley.
I'd kill Big Blue. I'd wreak my revenge.
Exactly, and you've had Shelley, 3 months, 4 months?
That's a good point. Yeah.
You can create a bond in that time.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, Scully.
I'd love to see you versus Big Blue.
I'd take it on, mano a mano. Mano a dino, I suppose.
Not my cat. They go John Wick over there.
Do you know what, though? That film is brilliant because it's the most... I can understand someone going to war because somebody killed their dog. Like, I agree on what he's saying. Anyway, she's talking about Quag, and Mulder asks the question everyone's been thinking, I guess, and if you've already read Moby Dick, you're probably not thinking this, but Mulder asks, where did the name come from?
My father used to read to me from Moby Dick when I was a little girl, and I called him Ahab, and he called me Starbuck, so I named my dog Queequeg. It's funny, I just realized something.
It's a bizarre name for a dog, huh?
No. How much you're like Ahab. You're so consumed by your personal vengeance against life, whether it be its inherent cruelties or its mysteries, that everything takes on a warped significance to fit your megalomaniacal cosmology.
Scully, are you coming on to me?
I thought this was a really, really good scene.
It was, yeah. I really enjoyed it.
It's just...
It's these little quiet moments between the two of them, isn't it?
It's perfect as they are literally stranded on an island. There's no escape. It was kind of like the one where they're on the boat. Like, that wasn't a great episode, but
where they get old. Yeah.
The scenes where they're together and able to talk to each other and stuff like that, where nothing matters anymore.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's the scenes where they're not rushed and they're not constantly trying to figure out a case.
Yeah.
It's a scene where they're forced to stop.
Yeah.
And so they talk to each other because there's nothing else to do, and then you get this little insight into the relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I enjoy these moments too.
But anyway, after this, something else arrives. They both pull their guns. It turns out it's Faraday. And he doesn't look like he's on a boat.
No.
I'm like, how has he got here?
Walking on water.
Yeah, interesting. And it turns out that he was walking past and heard them speaking. They're actually like a few yards from the shore. Now, at the time, I just sort of was like, ha ha ha, that was funny. And I went, hang on a bit. How did their boat sink if they're that close to the shore?
Yeah, that's a deep little river.
Yeah. I know, it must literally go like, thump, and then straight down. It's like a massive cavern in the floor. I thought that was weird, but anyway, again, it was to build this scene. It was fine. So yeah, they walk back to the shore, and they ask what he was doing at this time, and he said he was because it was like 12. It's past midnight, and he says this is the perfect time for the toads breeding, the toads breeding ground.
You can't call him that.
It fucking is. And they realise at this point that they're actually in Striker's Cove, which we saw at the beginning, which was what Mulder mentioned early on. And this is where Mulder starts putting this link together that that it's moved away, and it's the decline in the frog population here has caused it to go out looking for food elsewhere.
Yeah, because of it fed on the frogs. Yeah,
yeah. And Faraday says this is ludicrous, that he's been here 3 years. He would have seen it if that's the case. He's not having none of it, and he goes off.
Yeah, it storms off. Yeah.
The sheriff arrives, and he says that another death's happened, another part of the lake. Somebody got the hand bitten off, and he says that they've got boats out on the hunt to try and kill the creature. Brilliant response. First thing, unidentified creature, could be a dinosaur from millions of years ago. Going to kill it.
Yeah, it's very Beauty and the Beast, isn't it?
Yeah. And Mulder says that they need to investigate this cove. They don't need to go over to where he was investigating, but he's refusing. He's got all his resources there. He's looking there. And this is where we hear a noise in the distance. We hear screaming. And Mulder and Scully run off, chasing after the noise. And we see this bag that Faraday had earlier, which was full of toads.
Yeah.
On its own. They later find Faraday up against a tree, and he's been attacked, his legs bleeding.
Yeah.
They notice Scully notices that an artery's been nicked and he needs to go to a hospital. He says that something unseen grabbed him.
Yeah, he said he actually believes them now, because he said I didn't believe you, but basically insinuating that whatever attacked him was the thing that they've been looking for.
Scully says that they need to take him to a hospital. Mulder, not interested, runs off to go and catch this monster. He doesn't care if a person dies. Big whoop. He doesn't find anything in this direction he's run off. He just finds some more frogs. But then something is following him. He runs away from it and classic horror movie style trips on the floor. Falls up against a tree and then just starts firing at this.
Empties a clip.
Yeah, whatever. It could be a person.
I thought, at this point, I thought it was invisible. Yeah. Because, you could see the trees moving, but, nothing was coming towards him. And I was like, makes sense when you find out what it is. But, I thought it was, because they kept on mentioning that this creature had developed these ways to stay hidden. And I thought maybe it's got, this sort of
chameleon.
Exactly. Yeah. But then obviously not.
Nah. But yeah, he fires at this creature and then it just drops dead in front of him. It's an alligator, like we sort of said from the beginning. And again, I can't believe no one even mentioned that. Obviously, they're not going to, because that would spoil the surprise. But realistically, first thing you'd think would be that. But anyway, later on, we see Mulder looking over the lake. And he's disappointed that he didn't find anything. Scully even says to him, "Well, you slew the big white whale," and he says, "Yeah, but I didn't get my peg leg." Which is, he mentioned this earlier on, that he thinks that he would be happy if he got a peg leg like Ahab. I think that's in the quote that I put in.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a nice little tie into that. And Scully says that these stories about Big Blue exist because people want to believe, which I thought was a nice tie into the mythos as well. And then we see this shot of him staring out at the lake. I did like that it looked like the exact mirror of the amount of times we see him looking up at the stars. But this time it was
I've not even thought about that.
It was a bright light bouncing off the water, and I was like, "This is perfect."
That's quite good actually. I've never thought about
that. We see that he leaves, and then just as he leaves, turns away, we see a CGI monster emerging from
Big Blue, just going for a swim.
Yeah,
he's real.
He's real. Yeah, he's real. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I enjoyed it. I like the story. I like the idea behind it. If I'm being super critical, I think they could have cut 10 minutes from the middle. I felt like everyone knew where it was going. We didn't need to see 4 deaths to get there. Because it was the same story constantly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So that's not a bad thing. That's fine. I know it's got to be filled 40 minutes, and that's not a problem. But the story probably could have been told in 30.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. I like the idea. I like the little twist that it's. I'm glad they put Big Blue in at the end.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just an alligator. I'm glad that there was some sort of supernatural element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought, like you said, I thought that the moment on the rock was the big one for me. I really enjoyed that scene.
I think that's what made this episode for me. It was it was fun, basically. This episode was. It wasn't like important, but it had like fun little jokes, a stupid little story, basically. You know what I mean? And yeah, those scenes on the lake were just. I just thought it was brilliant, like relationship developing, I suppose. So. But yeah, poor Queen Quag as well.
I know.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. So, what would you give it out of 10?
Ooh, I would give it a... I'm going to start using yours. I'm going to start trying to do a bit more of a realistic rating system. I'm going to go 6.9. 6.9. Which isn't bad. That's not a bad score.
I give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too far apart from this.
That's good.
I like I said, it's not an amazing episode, but I thought it was fun. It was entertaining, so yeah, I enjoyed it.
Luke's production notes.
Quagmire was written by Kim Newell with substantial revisions courtesy of fellow writer Darren Morgan.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what I'd like to know what rewrites.
Yeah,
he did. I didn't notice his style in it.
There was a bit more of a comedic slant to it, I suppose, with some of the parts. Like, it wasn't as funny as a Darren Morgan episode.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, I recognise his style though, and I didn't really pick up on it. But I'd like to know. Yeah.
As such, several references to previous Morgan penned episodes make an appearance in Quagmire. For instance, Scully's dog Queen Quag, which first appeared in the episode Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, is killed in this episode. Then story editor Frank Spotnitz claimed that the dog was brought back simply to kill it off. Poor little bug. The Stoner Kid and the Hesitant Chick, which are the two on the pier, both first appeared in the episode War of the Coprophages. The episode also contained various series in-jokes and pop culture references. Some of these, they're not that great. Milliken County, which is the name of the lake, is derived from casting director Rick Milliken. The boat that Mulder and Scully ride on, the Patricia Ray, is named after the mother of director Kim Manners. And Mulder's discussion about having a wooden leg references the book Games People Play.
Oh, okay. Nice.
There we go.
Have you even heard of that book?
No, I've never heard of it. Probably like in vogue at the time or something. Yeah. The episode was filmed on 3 British Columbia lakes: Butson Lake, Pitt Lake, and Rice Lake, and they're all used for different shots. There's a lot of like in the weeds kind of stuff here, but yeah, there were 3 different lakes used for this. The conversation scenes were filmed on a rocky island set in the BC Research Wave Tank. During the day of filming, the artificial rock set was placed in the tank and filled with water. However, the rock set began to float and an emergency crew of carpenters worked furiously through the night to reattach the platform.
Oh, no way.
It always seems to happen. Yeah, anytime they have a simple shot.
They got a whole team in to sort it.
For the final scene of Big Blue, the producers originally intended for a boat to pull a rubber sea serpent through the water, but they were unhappy with how it turned out. After attempts to enhance it digitally failed, Big Blue was created entirely with CGI technology.
Yeah. I think that probably would have worked better, to be fair.
For that simple...
I didn't think it was a bad CGI.
Because it was in the distance as well. Do you know what I mean? I think for that shot, it was just like, don't mess about. It's for 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I think that was fine.
Director Kim Manners said of the episode, not a great show, but a good one. Yeah, it's a lighter show. There's a lot of humour in it, but I think it hit with fans because there's some wonderful Mulder and Scully relationship stuff. The entire third act is just the 2 of them talking, which is actually kind of interesting. The scene where Mulder and Scully talk while stranded on a rock comprised of 10 pages of dialogue.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that much, but okay.
Unless they cut a lot down.
No, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Gillian Anderson said of the scene, I love that. That was so much fun, and I think it was written really well. It was just neat to have us separated from everything and stuck on this island where we could wax philosophical and kind of tell the truth to each other in strange ways.
Pretty much what we've said, yeah. That sounds like that was everyone's favourite part.
Yeah. Right, we're back to the new segment, the Crit X Files.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do a jingle for that. We'll see. See how lazy I am. What do you reckon?
I reckon they're going around the same as us.
Yeah.
7 mark-ish.
Critical reception to the episode was mostly positive. Many reviews praised the Moby Dick conversation between Mulder and Scully. Zach Handlen of the AV Club was positive toward the episode, grading it an A-. He wrote that it started off amazingly and positively noted the way the monster was handled. Entertainment Weekly, however, gave the episode a C and was critical of the entry's monster. Furthermore, the review wrote that the episode was notable only for the Mulder and Scully Moby Dick digression.
Wow.
So, yeah,
okay. Interesting.
So, the People's Review, the most important review.
Yeah.
From 2,881 reviews, we got an 8.3.
Wow, really?
Quite a strong one, yeah.
So that beat last week's, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. Yeah. I am surprised. But, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
The people speak.
And they can never be wrong.
Yeah, there's no undertone there. That's it for this week, I'd say. If you want to get in touch with the show, we will actually read out your tweets and your Facebooks. Does anyone?
I don't think I use Facebook anymore.
No, to be fair, yeah. Who uses Facebook? But yeah, we'll read out any tweets, emails, stuff like that you send in to us. All of the links are below in the comment section.
In the doobly-doo.
Don't say that. What was I trying to find? I was trying to find next week's episode, which I did save and I got ready, and then I just went off the app, but I'm on it now. So that's enough time filled, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wet Wired is our next episode.
I'm going to guess it's the part 1 of a 2 parts.
It feels that way as it's
got to be
the last 2, innit?
Yeah.
Shall we talk about what we're going to do? Because obviously we usually take a 4-week break, don't we, between series?
Yeah, between seasons. I feel like we've already done that.
Yeah. We're probably not going to do that this time. We're still going to do our episodes that we usually do. I think we're just going to put them out in sort of like a 2-week period. So it's going to be like there's two episodes or something like that in 1 week. And two the next week or whatever. But yeah.
I mean, long and short of it, we'll still do all of our post-season content.
Yeah.
And we'll just get straight into the new season.
Yeah. We're not going to really hold up on that.
Nah, you might as well just carry on because we've had our break.
Yeah. Long Christmas break. Maybe that's the way we should do it from now on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I know a lot of podcasts that take a holiday break.
Yeah. But anyway, that's for off-air admin.
Off-air.
We'll leave you with the good stuff, and that is Daniel Checkley is going to sing us off with a rendition of
Wait, what?
I Ran by a Flock of Seagulls.
What's it go like? What's the tune go like?
You should know. You wanted to sing it.
I didn't prepare for this. I'm not going to sing.
What's a song that you can sing?
What's a song that I can sing?
Yeah.
Let's choose a song that's related to the episode.
True Colours.
Oh, that's very difficult. Now I'm not singing. I'm not dancing monkey. You can't force me to do this.
And this is why we'll never have a Patreon.